All right, the Bitcoin halving is about 55 minutes away, and I thought I'd just make a quick price action update before the halving takes place. By the time this is uploaded, the halving will probably have already happened. I'll see if I can edit this quickly though. So let's not waste any time. So Bitcoin, on a higher time frame, I'll just give like a quick recap. We're sitting around the low of its larger range, the range that we started since we put in the all-time high. And we've come down to wick out the low of the range a few times. We have a few SFPs down below the low. And for the last week or so, we've been trading within this smaller range. So that's where I'm going to focus this TA because, we can't really start talking about higher time frame developments until we break this range one way or another. And right now I am hedged within this range. I am in a short from back here, which was prior to us forming this range. I'm still in the short trade from one of my last Bitcoin videos. I've taken, most of the trade out. I've taken a good amount of profits. Given the multiple wicks of the low, I had some opportunities to TP around these lows, so I did. But I still have a little bit open just as a hedge, so I have my stop loss pretty much sitting right above this range at this, entry. And I am also right now in a long from the low. I longed the SFP of this low. I am in positions from the extreme ends of the range because I don't know which way it's going to break, but ideally I am still in one of these trades when the range breaks one way or another. That's the idea with hedging myself in these ranges, especially at such a key point. And quickly running over market cipher, the weekly time frame, not too much to talk about. Nothing has really changed. The VWAP is still pointing to the downside. Momentum's still coming down. Money flow is starting to take another local turn to the downside. But it's looking pretty similar to what it has been looking like. I still think it's possible that we eventually see this VWAP turn back to the upside, get another green dot. And hopefully we don't really slip below the 60 line, and hopefully we definitely don't lose this last higher low. That would kind of be a bad sign to me. On the daily time frame, we see the momentum wave is printing a green dot right now. The VWAP is coming up pretty sharply. Money flow is taking a turn to the downside, but it's starting to kind of flatten out here. And we saw the last time money flow came close to the zero line, it actually did get a little dip into the red, but then it pretty much immediately rebounded from there. We can be hopeful and say that maybe that happens again as we're coming close to the zero line here. And the last time we did print this, pretty much anchor wave in the middle of all these like tiny trigger waves below the zero line, that kind of marked the bottom, I believe. Yeah, that actually did. And we may be seeing something similar here where we now have this very deep anchor wave as opposed to these little trigger waves that we were getting previously. You could call it a hidden divergence from back here, right? Momentum was much higher than where it was at right now, yet price is making a higher low. You could even argue we still have one from this wick because we haven't taken this wick out, so higher low in price and lower low in momentum. So you can argue there are some hidden divs there as well. And overall, based on this, I like the fact that we are seeing wicks on the lows. This is showing buying. It's showing that, we're not really breaking the range. We're just SFPing it. And now the daily momentum wave is printing a green dot. VWAP's looking pretty good. This momentum wave is very overextended to the downside, so that kind of gives me hope for a reversal here. I think the daily's looking all right, despite the money flow still coming down. And on the 4 hour, we did see some bullish divs on the low. So I originally longed this because we were seeing some bullish divs on some of the higher time frames. There was a 4 hour div technically because we put in a lower low in price, yet momentum put in a higher low. And now as we've come down to put in another lower low, the momentum wave barely even got a move down. We actually just kind of printed a red dot, green dot here as we got this very quick move down. So there is a very clear bullish divergence there as we put in yet another lower low. Money flow is not looking great on the 4 hour. Overall it is still on a downtrend, it's putting in lower highs. Recently it's been on a pretty serious downturn, but when money flow got in the red, it turned around very quickly. And right now it is sitting in the green. You can see the dotted line where money flow is at right now is green. So, I'd like to see where this goes, and maybe we can look at lower time frames to kind of judge where this may end up going. But we do have a red dot on this trigger wave right now. But let's check the lower time frames to see what they're looking like. So the 3 hour, we kind of have a pinching of money flow where money flow is putting in lower highs and right now higher lows, but it is still putting in higher lows. And right now, locally, it is moving to the upside. At least it appears that way. We'll see if we can print another higher low here. It's very locally taking a turn to the downside, but not getting too much from this time frame. We do still see the bullish divs though with momentum, and even with money flow, we do have money flow divs. Money flow, was increasing as we put in this last lower low. 2 hour money flow was working its way to the upside. It got into the green a little bit, came back down on the red. It's kind of bobbing up and down, which definitely shows uncertainty. But the fact that it's struggling right here doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to turn back to the downside. We actually saw an example where as money flow got into the green, it began struggling a little bit, started bobbing up and down before ultimately, it ended up getting a significant move to the upside. And back here, money flow wasn't even really looking as good. There was kind of an overall curvature, you could say, with like, a low, a lower low, and then a higher low. It's definitely not looking as good, though, as this curvature, which I think is a good thing. The last time we kind of saw this, it ended up going higher later. Now we have like a better money flow setup with actual divergences on the low, and we're kind of seeing a similar thing. So that makes me think there's, maybe some more hope of the money flow continuing to play out to the upside. But it's still pretty unclear. On the 1 hour, we got into the green, came back down after it spent a lot of time in the red. So yeah, it's pretty uncertain right now. And maybe that is a result of people being uncertain as to how the halving is going to go. On the 30-minute, we see money flow taking another turn to the downside. Overall, it looks like there's potential for upside with the divergences with money flow. On some time frames, curving back to the upside after spending a little bit of time in the red. But locally, it's looking a little uncertain. Now, let's go over price action real quick. So we been forming this range. We took out the low of the range twice, and we actually did get a market structure break on this last move to the upside. We broke this lower high. Now, it wasn't a great looking break. It wasn't like super aggressive, but it wasn't super poor either. This is just kind of a mediocre break in my opinion. But with the potential bullishness of market Cipher B, I am interested in looking for a higher low now. And I don't really think I'm going to be looking to add to this long. I kind of want to keep my entry where it's at. But I would definitely be open to opening a new scalp long. So that is kind of what I'm looking for right now as we're retracing locally. And other than that, I'm really interested in playing this range. If we get a move above the high of the range, stop out my short over here, and then falling back within the range like an SFP type play, then I'd be interested in looking for another short to continue hedging myself. If we come down and take out the low again, and we get an SFP with more bullish confirmations, I would be interested in looking for a long again because I kind of want to stay hedged in this range. Now, looking at very local price action. It does seem like, we may have some signs that we might continue retracing. I don't know. We are kind of wicking up or getting a move to the upside following a wick of the point of control. So we are right now holding the point of control as support. We did break down below the anchored VWAP from the low, which isn't a great sign. But, sometimes you do see anchored VWAP slightly disrespected before just continuing higher. It may just, be a wick on a higher time frame too. And yeah, we could close it as an SFP of the anchored VWAP on the 1 hour. So potentially we may hold this area as support, but if we continue lower, let's map out some areas I'd be interested in. And I like the confluence right now with the value area low and the golden pocket. Also, something I just noticed here is we do have an order block hiding right here. A little bit of confluence with the value area low with the golden pocket. I like that. We could also check for volume of this move to the upside. There's the value area low of it, but most of the volume, the point of control is up here, so not great confluence. But if we start losing the point of control of this range, I would definitely be looking towards the value area low. We have some confluence in that area. And I think that's about it. Other than that, I'm just watching this local, very important range and, looking for a break one way or another. All right, well, I'm going to get this edited and uploaded, and by the time that happens, the halving will probably have already happened. So yeah, happy halving, everybody. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, leaving a comment. All that helps to support my channel, and I appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next one.